Hello, so today I wanted to talk about attitude. I think, all of you that are watching this, you understand and have heard the importance of your attitude, and it's obviously one of the most controllable things that you have. But I wanted to dive a little bit deeper into it because it goes beyond just having a good or positive attitude, which I think is really usually what people think of when we look at attitude. And first, just having a positive or a good attitude, like what does that really mean, right? It's a little bit vague. And so with anything we want to be more clear, we want clarity. Clarity is key. The more clear we are in how we want to handle the situations that come our way and how we want to respond, that's really what we're looking at when we're looking at attitude, because you're going to have difficult situations and you're going to have emotions that come along with those situations. And when we're looking at choosing your attitude, it's not about denying the emotions or the things you're going to feel as you handle certain situations, maybe certain people or circumstances within your sport, but it's more about how do you choose to handle it? Do you choose to handle it with grace? Do you choose to handle it with trying to focus on what you can control? What are those elements for you when you look at yourself? Maybe look at your values, look at who do you want to be in challenging moments, to really then set the intention of how you want to handle those situations while still honoring the emotions that may come along with it, whether that's grief or sadness or disappointment or anger. You want to, as I said, be able to honor those things, but not let those emotions determine how you react in that moment. Instead, really being able to embrace those feelings, but then choose how you want to respond. In every single moment, there is a gap between the stimulus and our response, and it is our choice to find that gap, to be able to train ourselves to be able to find that gap so that we can respond in a manner in which we want to choose rather than kind of more of the reaction. And it is finding that gap, making that choice of how we want to respond, where we gain some freedom, where those circumstances, those people, those situations that exist for you, then don't take control. Because if you let the circumstances, situations kind of dictate how you respond or react in a moment, right, you're losing a little bit of your freedom by you making the choice. Right? You cannot control the situations and circumstances, but you can control how you respond and the attitude you bring to that situation. And that, as I said, gives you some freedom and gives you that element of control over yourself that you can really, use to be the version of yourself you're looking to be. But this takes practice, it takes intention, and we want it to be more specific than just having a good or positive attitude, because that doesn't really tell you how you want to behave and respond in that moment. So kind of think about what that looks like for you. As I said, set a clear intention. Our attention follows our intention. So the more clear the intention is of how we want to respond, the more our focus and our attention is going to kind of gravitate to that area or to the things that we're going to need to do in order to respond in the manner in which we want to. A great example of this in the world of athletics is the politics that surround sports. They do exist, and hopefully with time and in the future, maybe it changes and becomes less. But the reality is right now that politics are a major part of the world of sports, and it definitely has a great impact on athletes, and it did on myself, and it does on a lot of the athletes that I work with. Obviously the decisions that are being made, sometimes unfairly, that seem very confusing, right? You can't do anything about that, but you can make the choice of how you want to handle the politics, how you want to handle, kind of how it influences maybe opportunities that you have or don't have, or the perception that you have of why something is happening in the manner in which it is happening. You need to just, as I said, choose how you want to respond in those moments. And as I said, that gives you some freedom to not let these people and circumstances outside of your control then have a greater impact on you than they already do.